Well, it's Thursday.
It is indeed.
Yes, it is. Man, tired. Cat ran across me at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up, couldn't go back to sleep.
Yeah.
And she didn't get much sleep either because her tooth's bothering her.
Yeah, I have like a tooth like way in the back, and a long time ago it broke, and half of it broke off, but half of it's still there. And it's really weird because it hasn't hurt for like a year and a half or something like that. And then all of a sudden yesterday, it just started fucking killing me for whatever reason.
It's a sign it's going to come out. I had that same thing happen.
I mean, I'm trying to like, I don't want to like just get in there and fucking pry it, but it's like, I have been trying to like wrench it.
I stuck a Bic pen, a plastic pin underneath mine and just bit down on it. And it broke off. Yeah.
But yeah.
It was hurting.
Yeah, it's really weird. I haven't felt anything like for a really long time, and then just suddenly yesterday it just started hurting, and then like by the time I went to bed it was like fucking killing me. Yeah. And I have like the gel, you know, that you put on there that's supposed to like kill it, but it didn't really work. And I was dreaming that we were at a steakhouse, like eating at a steakhouse, and I kept like wrenching pieces of my tooth out and like so I was dreaming about it, and then it woke me up at like, it was like 1:45. And so, and I don't think I fell back to sleep after that, because then Pookie like kept coming, because I think she knew that I didn't feel good, so she kept coming up and like looking in my face like, hey, are you okay?
Yeah.
And then also Beijing was doing her weird cargo cult ritual out in the living room.
It's weird when she does that.
It's creepy. Like, you know what it is, and you know what she's doing, and it's not nefarious, because all she's doing, she comes in my office, she gets like all these, I have all these little stuffed toys, and I put them like on the lower shelf so she can reach them easier. And she has particular ones she likes. It's like a little fox, a little octopus and stuff.
A spider.
A little spider. Yeah. And a little bat. She likes the bat.
Yeah.
And
she likes the witch.
Yeah, the little lock, shock, and barrel dolls. She likes those.
And she takes them out there and puts them in a circle, makes a whole pattern with them, and then just cries to them. It's weird.
It's so funny.
It's weird. And it's kind of an eerie sound.
Yeah, she's like...
and it's
like in the middle of the night, and she does it like every night.
And so you sneak up on her, she's just standing over it, looking down at it, calling at it. It's just weird, man.
Well, she does like almost the same thing. It's like when I get up in the morning, she makes like a little circle, like kind of by like in the little foyer area, the like near where the laundry room is. And then she'll make like a little line of them going through the living room, like to my office. Because she takes out like a whole bunch, like 6 or 7 or 8 of them. And she makes like little patterns.
I don't know what the pattern, it's like a landing pad.
It's like super
making
weird.
A landing strip.
She didn't used to do that before we got Pookie. So we thought it was some kind of like baby, like a mother instinct thing. I'm not really sure what it is.
Like she's trying to feed Pookie, but it's not what it is. It's something. She's trying to call down the gods or something. Trying to call down cat spirits. It's weird because it's like gotten more and more elaborate over the years. She's making a whole pattern and a landing strip, circles and lines.
Every single morning I find like little patterns.
We got to take a picture of it.
Yeah, if she gets a really good... Because some nights I think she doesn't do it, like she'll sleep all night and there'll only be a couple. And there's always at least 2. Yeah. But some mornings she gets really like crazy with it, and she like there's a whole bunch of them, and she's like made like a whole thing.
It's a poltergeist type. It's a poltergeist like behavior. That's like something a poltergeist would do.
Yeah,
making patterns.
Except it's a cat.
Except it's the cat.
I didn't tell you the other day because Beijing has. She's not. She's never been like as playful as Pookie is, because Pookie is very. She's like a little tomboy. She likes to wrestle and she likes to play and stuff. Beijing has always been kind of like more aloof, like princess-like. Yeah. However, she does have a thing where every now and then she decides that she's going to hide behind the wall and jump on you when you come out. And she only does it like once every few months or something.
She thinks that shit's hilarious because she runs after you start. She's trying to get you to go get startled, and then she just runs.
Yeah, it's almost like she's like, ha ha ha.
Yeah, like she's running away.
I got you.
Yeah.
And even if you see her, you have to pretend that like she scared you, because otherwise she gets bummed out.
I fuck it up all the time. I see her and she goes, oh fuck.
Well, because sometimes I think she doesn't realize, because she's behind the wall, and then she peeks around to see where you are, and she doesn't realize that you can see her little ears, and then she's like, oh shit, and then she pulls back in. But then she'll jump up on the wall anyway. You know what she did to me yesterday or a couple days ago? Was I went out in the kitchen and I was like fucking, making coffee or whatever the hell I was doing. And she tried to jump out at me, but she, like, I guess she miscalculated where I was going to be. Because she jumped out from behind the wall, like 2 walls behind me. And she was like, "Wah!" And then she was like, "Oh, you're way over there. Never mind." Yeah. And then she, like, tried to play it off. I was just going to the litter box. I wasn't doing anything funny.
We're still working on the cookbook, coming up with new concepts. I'm going to put a Chinese section in there because I know you guys like Chinese food. And I got some Chinese stuff that I make. It's very easy. Like sweet and sour chicken and pork. And then like General Tso's chicken. I'm going to show you how to get it.
Yeah, you make that all the time.
And I make variations of that using different components. You'll see. And then the condiments, Chinese condiments. You like the mustard and the duck sauce. I got much better versions of that. What else? Although
I have to say that on a lot of the Asian food that we make, and even on like some other things, like sometimes when you just make pork chops and stuff, I don't know what fucking brand it is. I think, we got it at Sam's or Aldi, I can't remember, but it comes like in this really big bottle, and it's like pineapple habanero. It's like we
got that at Sam's.
And it's like, I don't know if you can get it all the time, but it's like I put that shit
it's not
on
there anymore.
Everything.
It's kind of like that's kind of like something you could put egg rolls in.
Yeah.
But, yeah, pineapple habanero sauce. It's kind of like sweet chili sauce. Kind of like Thai sweet chili sauce.
Yeah, it's really really good.
Kind of like that.
I put it on a whole bunch of things.
We're gonna talk about crab rangoon.
Yeah.
We'll talk about egg rolls. How to make those.
Do you want to do sushi? You haven't made sushi in a long time.
Nah, sushi's a bitch. You got to have the right kind of sushi mats for it and everything. And you need the right
rice.
Distinct kind of rice. That's only for people that's really interested in shit. You know what I mean?
We made it a few times, like just with with the imitation crab and like avocado and stuff like that.
It's a bitch.
It's hard to do though. It's like hard to roll it up and like get it to look right.
It's easy to miscalculate when you're making like a sushi roll and put too much in it, and then you roll it and it's like that big around instead of this. So it's something that takes a few months of fucking trial and error to get right. Chinese food is known in the United States and in Europe is American. It's not Chinese.
Yeah, it's Chinese American. Well, it's just like the Italian food that we have here. It's not like exactly what they'd eat in Italy, but it's just like immigrants from Italy.
And you can trace it back to San Francisco back in the late 1800s.
Yeah.
That had the largest Chinese population outside of China.
Yep.
Been there forever. And the Chinese just were grifting on us, and they realized that you could just take American components and mess around with them and sell it to the white man and go, yeah, that's our Chinese food. They don't eat that shit. One of them was called chop suey, and chop suey means table scraps as far as I'm concerned. That is not a Chinese dish. That's something they were just giving to us. I think it means table scraps.
Yeah, they were. That's pretty funny to think.
Yeah, they were trolling.
Just, like,
trolling
with the food.
The only thing, and in like some of the most famous stuff, like General Tso's chicken, that's not Chinese either. It's actually from like Singapore. That's where that. It was a Chinese chef.
Yeah, didn't we see...
Or a Japanese chef
making
Chinese food in a Singaporean restaurant.
Didn't we see a documentary about the history of that?
Yeah, it's got its own history.
A long time ago?
It is not Chinese. Not in any ways. But it is from, the East. But it was, and it's also not old. It's from the 60s. A lot of shit people think is old and traditional food is not old, like Cajun food.
I was gonna say that exact same thing.
Jambalaya, special kind of spice. Well,
a lot
crawfish.
of that didn't Paul Prudhomme.
It's all Paul Prudhomme.
We'll come up with a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, it's not old.
Yeah,
and it's not traditional per se.
It's delicious.
It's delicious, but you're talking about late 60s.
Yeah,
late 60s, early. Those were his recipes from the New Orleans area, in around Louisiana. He bullshitted his way into saying, yeah, this is traditional Cajun food. No, it's not. It was inspired by Cajun food, but no, not in any, no way.
But that's kind of one of the coolest things that and that's why I'm always fascinated with like food history and stuff like that. I don't think you can get too wrapped up in you know, if something's like traditional cuisine or something like that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, especially now when, you know, everybody likes to try everybody else's different cuisines and stuff, and people are like mixing it together. If it's good, who fucking cares?
Yeah, there's none of this food is old. You go back, you go back and look at a recipe books from the 40s, and you wouldn't fucking eat that. You just wouldn't eat it. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah,
No
I
spices.
wouldn't eat most of this stuff.
There's a whole channel about fucking people executing old recipes from the 60s and the 40s. It's not edible. The palates of most of it, the palates of those days and the supplies, the things that they had access to was crap. Most of it canned shit. Motherfuckers ate aspic.
Yeah.
Okay. They loved that shit.
Well,
you guys don't know what that is. It's damn meat gelatin.
Meat gelatin, yeah.
And it's clear. You can make different colors and shit. The only thing that I would say is probably like traditional Cajun that I'd come across would be like boudin. And you don't want fucking boudin. It's a damn ball, fried ball. It's fucking nasty. It's all internal organs and shit. And not internal organs from anything that you'd ever eat anyway. It might be internal organs from a fucking possum. Mixed with fucking, like, fish. Mixed with fucking, like, a beef heart. And it's just...
whatever they had laying around.
Just whatever they fucking had, and it was something that nobody else would eat. And that was the only time I ever got sick in the South. Because I could eat boudin. All right? But you wouldn't want to eat boudin. I stopped off at a gas station one time, and some fresh boudin came out, and they put it up in the little window. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was only $1. I said, let me get me a boudin.
I wonder why. Did you ask for your $1 back at the end?
No, I was driving. I was driving. So I was fucking just past Slidell, and I was on my way to New Orleans. You know, it's goth night coming up.
Yeah.
And fucking I was eating some fucking boudin, and I finished about half of it, and all of a sudden I started feeling fucking strange, man. Strange. And I threw that fucking half of that ball out. Because in the South, you just throw that shit out the window.
Well, if it's food,
it's food.
I mean,
Yeah, just throw that shit out the window.
I don't throw paper.
Throw the
out
paper
the
out,
window.
just the fucking on the freeway.
But if it's like
that shit
orange peels or something.
And all of a sudden, I started feeling lightheaded. I fucking pulled over and just threw up.
Oh no!
Yeah, that shit was rotten.
Yeah.
Whatever that was. Something was in there that had turned, and they fucking gave it to me. And sure as hell, I'm not gonna go back there and get that shit for $1. In the South, they'd have just denied it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Must be you.
It's you. Yeah,
you're too much of a pussy to eat it.
Yeah.
That's what they would have said.
Yeah, I was putting fucking Tabasco on it too, but it was something like I could taste there was some kind of internal organ in there, but it tasted like liver.
It's a very distinct
There was like some
flavor.
piece of liver or something that was in there. It was bad, whatever it was, or not. It didn't taste bad, but it was rotten.
Yeah.
Man, that was fucking. I remember that, and I was dizzy for about a half hour after throwing up.
God damn.
It cleared though.
Yeah.
It cleared.
Yeah,
So
that was
I got
your body
rid of it
going,
early.
nope.
Yeah, I got rid of it early.
Hitting the ejector seat.
Yeah.
I do feel like, well, it's not really a Southern thing, but they do eat a lot of like testicles, right? Like mountain oysters.
Yeah, I never had it.
I haven't either.
I never eat.
I think I saw my grandfather eating it one time, and I'm like,
that's not in the South.
No, that's what I mean. That's not a Southern
like
thing. I thought that was Midwestern.
Might be Appalachia.
Yeah, or
around
something
that area.
like that.
They'd probably do that, but not down south. A Southern man's not gonna put another man's fucking private parts in his mouth, even if that shit came off another species. They're gonna get Southern Baptist about that. Their interpretation of that
might be words like homosexual bestiality.
Yeah,
like, but you're getting teabagged by another species.
Yeah, there's gonna be a Southern Baptist interpretation of that. They'd be like, so you want to put another man's balls in your mouth, and that man's a sheep. That's how they're gonna look at that. And then it goes down and it digests into your stomach. And then it becomes part of your fucking flesh. So you're made out of balls. You're made out of sheep balls. So they're going to try to look at it that way. What would Jesus think of that?
Also, you might get pregnant.
As
Z Frank would say.
Like, you might not get beyond the pearly gates. Being part made out of sheep testicle. You never can't tell. I don't think they'd eat that. No. I never heard of it. That might be a Mississippi sin.
Maybe.
It might be.
I heard of it from my grandfather. And my grandfather's from Tennessee. Now, I don't know, like, how... Because I know they call them mountain oysters or Rocky Mountain oysters.
Well, they mention them, but they're not from Mississippi.
Yeah, that's what
they're
I'm
from
saying.
Somewhere else. And they're kind... And like...
I've seen them. I've just... I'm not going to eat that shit.
No, and every time they were ever mentioned, they were making fun of them.
Yeah.
Like, you eat them. You know, like, I bet you eat that. You know.
Well, some people eat them.
Yeah, but like what I'm saying is, you're not listening to what I'm saying. Right? At least in Jones County, Mississippi, all right? It was kind of they made fun of Rocky Mountain oysters.
Yeah.
Okay. So you weren't, you can directly infer by that you're not supposed to eat them. Okay. Because they're making fun of them. No, yeah. Anything that's ridiculed.
Like, whose idea would that? This is one thing that has always fascinated me. Like, some food.
Why?
Like some shit that grows and stuff like that. It's like, it seems like obvious, like it smells good, you know, or something like that. But
you're making.
But who was the first person to eat?
Yeah,
like,
testicles and
right.
You're getting me to explain it to you. I know exactly what it is.
It was a dare.
No. No. I know exactly what it is. But it might spoil this upcoming show.
Oh, okay. You know, so don't.
Yeah, it was related to bodybuilding, I would think.
Okay.
All right. I'll tell you a little bit more.
All right.
In ancient times, okay, we're going back to like the Roman era.
We're going to the flashback.
Every bit of a fucking animal was eaten.
Yeah.
Every bit of it.
Which you can understand that. It's less wasteful.
Sure. It seems to be, from what we know of that time, shit like bull dick and bull nuts was kind of saved and cherished by athletes or dudes that wanted fucking a lot of prowess, okay?
Yeah.
Because it was like gaining more masculinity.
Yeah.
Okay, masculine energy. So what you're talking about is the performance enhancing drug of the day. You know what I'm talking about?
Delicious bull balls.
They make you strong as an ox, make you strong as a bull, make you big as a bull, or make your dick big as a bull's dick, and whatever. Now, because that shit was going on, it was theorized in the 1900s. Okay, well, no, it was theorized in the mid to late 1900s. Okay. That some of the fucking men that had these fantastic physiques in ancient times, you know what I mean, like the statues of these guys, maybe they gained that by eating bull nuts, because that's where testosterone is, and that might be kind of like TRT or taking steroids.
Yeah, it's not like crazy.
It's not a crazy concept, all right, but it turns out that it was wrong.
Yeah. You
can't get enough testosterone inside a nut, okay? Has a very short half-life. And even if you were able to get testosterone directly out of a fucking testicle and inject it into your body, within a few minutes it would be converted into something else like estrogen anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So it wouldn't be in there long enough for you to build any muscle on it or to have any response. It wasn't until anabolic steroids that you could have an effect like that.
Yeah.
Now, some people, this is a teaser, okay, for the coming show. Some people thought that some of the strong men of the late 1800s, okay, may have gotten their hands on some kind of testosterone or something kind of like an anabolic steroids. Testosterone was kind of like discovered and isolated, I think, in the 20s sometimes. And they did know about it, all right, in the 30s and the 40s. But it really wasn't, they weren't able to synthesize this shit into anything that you can inject and anything that would work until really the 50s.
Yeah.
Okay. And even in the 50s, it would have been very, very expensive and kind of rare. All right. So there's no way the strong men of the late 1800s had any kind of performance enhancing drugs. What you saw, that's what was possible. Just pure natty, pure natural. Just lifting weights and eating protein.
Yeah, okay. You remember, and I think I brought it up on the show before, but do you remember there was that one quack doctor that was going around saying that he was giving men sexual prowess by putting goat testicles in their scrotum?
Yeah. That shit didn't work. It was rejected.
No.
And it also didn't produce any testosterone.
Also killed some of the people.
It killed some. It's total quackery.
Yeah. It was a good book, though.
If you look at
about him,
Eugen Sandow and Pandur, just look at photos of them. That's natural. They had no performance enhancing drugs there. So that's what's possible without any steroids and just working out and at least having above average genes.
Yeah.
He probably had above average genes. Some say that, maybe Sandow just had average genes, because the only reason why he ended up like that is because he was looking at Greek statues and thinking, I think I can do that, and coming up with this crazy idea of lifting weights. Nobody in that era had thought of that.
Yeah, he's kind of like the father of bodybuilding.
Right, but he did prove that the ancient Greeks and the Romans knew about bodybuilding and lifting weights, that those statues were accurate. They were based on real people and real proportions that were possible. Because for thousands of years, people thought that was bullshit.
That was just like an idealized.
They thought it was an idealized cartoon, and people didn't look like that. They're just they're making that up. That people can't look like that. Yes, they can. The Romans and the Greeks had what you would call sports medicine. They knew about it.
Yeah. Well, that was like a big part of their culture.
Yeah. Going back to wrestling and the Olympics, pancratia is what they call it, fucking Greek sports, and they were big into the body, and that was their version of technology. Biotechnology is what they're talking about. Yeah. Yeah. Now there's some shit going on right now, in the health and fitness world about all this vegan power. You had Arnold Schwarzenegger coming out with this damn all vegan diet and this video that's promoting it. I think it's called The Game Changers, showing all these people building all this muscle on a totally vegetarian vegan diet. And I'm gonna tell you guys something. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. It's total fucking bullshit. It's total bullshit. You can't do it. Arnold didn't build all that muscle that way. And if you know who Arnold Schwarzenegger is, what kind of guy he is, Arnold's the biggest bullshitters out there. That dude, he had a long, long history of bullshitting. He would say the craziest, this is true, this is people that knew him. They'd say, man, how'd you get so big? He'd tell them some crazy shit like, take a couple drops of dishwater and put it inside of fucking beer and drink it. You see, he got people putting dishwater inside of beer to get big. That's what kind of shit fucking Arnold would tell you. Arnold would bullshit you. He thought that shit was hilarious.
Well, it's hilarious that you would fall for that.
Yeah, I think it was dishwater and beer. I can't remember exactly what it was.
Somebody might correct easy.
Me. It was just some crazy shit.
Why doesn't everybody look like Arnold Schwarzenegger then?
Right. And to answer your question, you get that big from steroids, anabolic steroids. That's how you get that big.
That's pretty much the answer to that question.
Anabolic steroids eat a lot of fucking protein. And they don't even have to work out that much. I mean, he did because he was fucking on stage. But you could take the right kind of anabolic steroids and work out just some and get fucking big in a short period of time.
Yeah.
If you work out a lot, you'll get even bigger. You'll get bigger than humanly possible. I mean, they're going 20 pounds over whatever your genetic limit is. That's what steroids unlocks. Some guys take it, they never even really hit their genetic limit. They just gained like 20, 30 pounds because they were little weaklings. Didn't really hit their genetic limit, and then they stopped. But some of these guys are at their genetic limit, then they take fucking anabolic steroids on top of that and get fucking huge. 20 pounds of pure muscle on top of what is possible. That's just not something in nature, and there's just anabolics is the only way. Yeah. And that's the truth. So all this game changer shit, when you see these guys, there are fake natties. People that say they're 100% natural, motherfucker's fake. Okay? He's not natural. There's a bunch of different ways that you can tell. All right, so not only do you have fake naturals, you got fake vegans. Guy's saying he's saying he's natural, saying he's vegan. Buy my fucking book. Bullshit. He might be vegetarian, but he's eating fucking protein whey powder. You know, protein powder, bunch of creatine, and then steroids. They do that too. And then, oh, I'm all natural, all vegan. Bullshit.
Well, it's kind of the same thing as, you remember back in the day when they had those fucking infomercials for, you know, whatever, like the shake weight or like the step aerobics. And it's like they'd have all these people on here and it's like they got fit doing that. No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
No,
that is a fitness model that they hired
to hold that shake weight.
To hold the shake weight. The shake weight didn't have anything to do with how they look. Nothing whatsoever. That's just how they just fucking sell it to you. That's how.
Fitness products are a scam. Okay.
Largely, yes.
They're a fucking scam.
They are.
You get fit by lifting weights and eating and lifting weights and running and eating. There's none of these little fucking shake weights and doodads and shit. They didn't get that way.
Shake weights and doodads.
And then they do shit like taking SARMs or taking fucking steroids or taking fucking TRT, testosterone replacement. You got women taking testosterone. And if it's taken right, they look good. But, you know, look up Bakar... no, what's the name? Bakar, this guy chick with black eyes and fucking all muscle, you know, looks good, big old booty, and she wears fucking bondage clothes and shit. Nakiva or something. I think that's what her name was. But she got it. As soon as she speaks, sounds like a man. You know, fucking testosterone, man. Fucking hell of a drug. Turn a woman into a man.
No one wants
Turn
that.
her into a female hyena.
I don't want that.
Takes your clothes off, clit fucking comes out like 3 inches long. Coming at you, pow.
Slapped by a giant clit.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You run her from her, she's trying to fucking mount you and shit. But you're like, get the fuck off, get.
Help.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, you know, it's just, there's a lot of bullshit out there about what's natural and what isn't natural. You know, you can work out, lift weights for 5 years, and if you're fucking real young and you had good genes, in 5 years you'll be able to fucking have a fucking fantastic transformation. But you'll never be able to fucking beat a dude that's on steroids. Never. A dude that fucking can start from just an average body, and in 18 months of fucking anabolics the right way, he can make fucking 10 years of gains. No, better than 10. It looks like what you would gain in 10 years plus a little bit more and all kinds of fucking weird angles and insertions and fucking definitions is something that can never be done naturally. There's just not enough fat. You know, they're down fucking 2% body fat. That's just not possible.
Yeah.
Not without anabolics. So, just hate to fucking crash everybody's dreams.
Well, I don't think everybody was dreaming about
They had
that.
some, you know, I was looking at that shit going, I think I could do that. Nah, you'll never be able to fucking you'll never be able to compete with dudes that are on anabolics.
No. Well, and I really do feel like, because I was watching a documentary earlier for, for the show we're going to do. But they were talking about how, you know, Mr. Olympia and all those kind of like, competitions. Now it's just all about how freakishly huge can you get. It's not really about the aesthetics of it anymore, like the natural, like how can you get like your best natural self. Everybody just wants to look like a big roided out monster. Yeah, well, actually that's kind of going away though now. Yeah, well, I feel like, because they were talking about, like, they were like the last kind of like big thing, like the aesthetic type of thing was like in the 90s was kind of like the heyday, but then like after that it started going in the direction of everybody wanting to look like a roided out monster. Yeah, that ended with Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman proved how big... Yeah, that's one of the guys that was on there. He proved how big you can get. You can get as big as a fucking car. Enormous. Basically, you can get basically as big. And he's maybe now, a bus. And he's fucked up now. His fucking spine's all fucked up. His skeleton's all fucked up, and he just cost him. But he went all in. He wanted to see how big a motherfucker can get. Ronnie Coleman. Yeah. I respect his game. You know, he got fucking huge. Cost him his spine though. He's just like, just moves in pain, you know. Yeah, this documentary I saw was 5 years old. Yeah. So that must have happened. It's going back to classic physique. Yeah. Which is big arms, big chest, normal size legs,
vacuum pose, which means you can pull your gut in, you know what I mean, in good definition, and something that Arnie was a fucking perfect. Arnold Schwarzenegger, when he's at his greatest, was the greatest classic physique. And if you put him next to Ronnie Coleman, he looked little next to Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah.
You know, people think of how big Arnold was. He wasn't that big, really.
Yeah, not compared to some of the later dudes.
Yeah, the standards change. You'd look at him now, he'd just be like an average guy at the gym.
Yeah.
But, you know, not really, but to the untrained eye, he'd be the average big guy at the gym. But it's going to be an interesting show this week. I think you guys will like it. I'll dispel some myths.
Well, it's kind of something that I didn't really know a great deal about, but I've been like researching and stuff like that, and
yeah,
I'm kind of interested in like in the old history, like Eugene Sandow and all of that.
Yeah. Stuff. Another thing is that you got girls growing up today on Instagram. They're looking at these other girls on Instagram with these fucking very voluptuous looking figures with nice fucking booties and these fucking legs and shit. Some of that shit looks like crap because that's implants. Butt implants just don't look right, especially if they're too big. Women doesn't have any legs. But some of the better ones that are very famous, they're making hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars a year. I don't know, fucking promoting shit on Snapchat, maybe selling nude selfies. That's like what every bodybuilder used to do anyway.
True.
Sell nude selfies and shit. I hate to break it to you guys, but almost all those girls, from what I'm seeing, are at least on SARMs. That's how they get those legs like that. That's how you can have voluptuous chest, big booty, big muscles, and then have a skinny waist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because that very rarely happens in nature.
That very rarely happens in nature. That's shit like MK. That's shit like fucking Osterine and Carterine and Rad 140. That's what they're using to do that.
Yeah.
And they're doing cycles of that. SARMs are kind of like a avatar, or kind of like a hologram of a steroid. It's not a steroid, but it makes your body kind of think that you had one. But it'll never be as good as real steroids. Real steroids will fucking get you much bigger, much faster. But it's a lot harder on your system. Fucking SARMs are a lot more gentle. Most of them. There's a bunch of them. But in general, SARM is... I'm not trying to promote any of the use of this kind of shit. But it's out there. You guys can find it. It's legal.
Yeah.
You know. I've taken some. So I'm not 100% natural. You could call me as kind of like slightly modified. But only in the past couple months.
Yeah.
And SARM will never make you superhuman. You'll never be able to get beyond your own normal limit anyway. Usually what they do is they do things like speed up healing. But you still gotta lift.
Yeah.
You know? When you hit 50, your healing slows down a lot. So you're gonna need help to fucking heal up if you want to work out 2-3 times a week. But so, you know. But that's how it is. None of that shit's natural. Lifting weights is not natural. Training for things is not natural. You know?
Well, that's what I mean.
None of that shit's natural.
If you only did shit that was natural, we'd also still be like sitting around living in caves and like wearing animal skins, and we wouldn't shave anything. And...
Yeah. Like, even a natural bodybuilder, you got to question, well, that's not really natural what he's doing.
That's not natural behavior.
And then what they're eating is not something that you would find in nature.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't have access to that much protein in a day in the wild. You can't hunt down that many rabbits. You can't kill that many birds. You can't eat that much fish. You just can't get that much creatine in nature, you know?
Yeah, there's not protein bar trees.
No. So, nothing is natural.
Yeah. Even
what women do, all the fucking beauty stuff that they do, it's not natural.
That's what I mean. I don't want to go around looking natural. Fuck that shit.
So there's...
I look horrifying.
So there's like this big fucking thing that's been going on in fitness for a long time. Who's natural and who's enhanced? They're all enhanced.
It's a blurry line.
Yeah,
I mean, there's really no hard and fast.
I don't ask that anymore. I just want to know who's on gear and who isn't. Who's on steroids and who isn't. Because really, the shit that makes the big difference is the fucking steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah, just you can take all this little creatine, eat all these protein powders, and do these little SARMs. That ain't shit compared to fucking D-ball or Anavar. You get fucking huge. Big. Yeah.
Like I said, some of the guys.
If I was on fucking real steroids, and I've been working out 2 years now.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and with that 2 years, if I had been doing cycles of fucking steroids, I'd be fucking 30 pounds heavier easily.
Your arms would be so big you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, I'd be able to move. I look ridiculous. Really, a lot of that shit to me looks ridiculous.
It does. I agree.
It's too much. It's
too
much.
It doesn't really look like a human being anymore.
I do not want to be above normal human level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just want to be nearer what my genetic potential was.
Yeah. Because, like I said, after a point, it just starts looking freakish.
It's just
gross.
too much, and I just never really wanted to work out to become superhuman. And the bad thing about it is that once you start going above your genetic potential, you have to remain on those steroids to keep that muscle.
Yeah.
When you fucking come off of it, over time, it goes right down to what your potential was again. What your genetic potential. So why were you doing this? The only reason why there's only two reasons why you do that. You do it because you're competing in some kind of show, which is a glorified beauty contest, which that's fine, all right? Or you got manorexia.
Yeah.
Where you're looking in the mirror and for some reason you don't think you're big enough. And I don't really understand that. Because if you look at what a person's maximum genetic potential is, it's pretty fucking big.
Yeah.
For me. You know what I mean? To me it looks like usually somebody's genetic max kind of looks real close to what classic physique was with Arnold. Not quite that big, but similar proportions. You know?
Yeah.
Good enough.
Yeah.
Good enough. So I don't understand it. Some guys just
like I said, it's kind of the same thing as like people that get plastic surgery. It's like up to a point, you look better, but then there comes a point where it just starts looking. You start looking less and less like a person, and you start looking more and more like freakish.
The mass monsters and the mass monsters and the guys that want to go 20 pounds over their genetic potential are basically kind of like the men's versions of those porn stars with the big basketball boobs, the bimbo type.
That can't even like fucking.
They can't move. They got the fucking big fake lips and the fucking huge basketball. Which there's a certain amount of novelty to it. You know what I mean? Fucking. I think it looks kind of cool. You might get tired of it after a while, but in photographs it looks kind of fucking like a fetish model. I can understand it. But, you know what I mean? It is an extreme look.
Well, I was writing about, in my book, there's one case, she was a porn star named Lola Ferrari.
I remember her.
Yeah, and she was in the, Guinness Book of World Records for, like, world's biggest breast, because she had, like, 10 or 20 different surgeries, like, to get them bigger and bigger and bigger. And, she got to a point where, she had really bad back problems. She couldn't sleep. She had to sleep on her side, I think. She couldn't sleep on her back or on her stomach, obviously.
Yeah, well, she was a little skinny, too.
Yeah. She ended up dying, and they are not sure if it was suicide or if her husband might have killed her.
Yeah.
Which is why it's in my book, because it's not, they're not sure it's a murder, but her family tends to think it was a murder, and there is some evidence to suggest that.
There's a German one just like that nowadays. Same kind of builder. Her stage name is Penelope Black Diamond.
That's a great name.
Yeah. She actually looks like somebody would know, like a goth chick. Big long black hair with bangs and fucking skinny. She looks like Laura. Mark and Laura. She looks like Laura, kind of. But, I mean, each boob has got to be about the size of a beach ball.
I couldn't imagine going around. It's not like you could take them off at the end of the day.
No.
You know what I mean?
Big long fingernails and big long toenails on her.
See, that crazy. I always wondered about too. Because, every now and then, like if I'm, if we're going to some special occasion or something like that, I'll put like those fake nails on and shit.
Yeah, you can't even get in the car.
I can't get in the car. The first time I try to go to the bathroom and pull my pants back up, they start snapping. I'm like, how the fuck do people do this?
Yeah.
I don't understand. They don't stay on. I don't know. You can't. So I just feel like all the time I'm like, I can't move. I can't touch anything. I can't pick anything up. It's like, I hate it.
Yeah.
But so.
Yeah, but I kind of, psychologically, I kind of put roided out mass monsters and fucking bimbo porn star type like Penelope Black. I think it's psychologically a similar.
It's
profile,
a similar, yeah.
Where they're going for extremes.
Yeah. Well, and you know, or people like, you know, that person that that had like they wanted to look like a snake or whatever. And it's like, although some of the people like that's their livelihood, so in a way I can understand. It's like it's still extreme behavior, but
porn stars and bodybuilders, that's their livelihood too. It is there, but I think there's also kind of a psychological drive. You have to want that.
You have to want that really badly.
That's how they want to look.
That's what that's
what they want to look.
Because, like I said, when you're not competing, you still look like that.
You still look like that, but they're happy looking like that. That's what they want.
Yeah.
And see, I think they have the right. I don't understand why it's illegal. I really don't, because I think a person has a right to choose. You know what I mean? To how they want to look, and if they want to take anabolic steroids. Yeah, it might kill them earlier, but so does smoking. So does a bunch of other shit.
Yeah, so does booze. So does
booze.
Yeah. It's like if it's the person's own body, and that's and as long as they don't have any like underlying issues, they're not hurting anybody. They're not. You know, it's like maybe not what I would do, and it's like, but if you want to do that, then knock yourself out.
You hear them. They're going like, these guys are going like, yeah, this might kill me early, but I'm trading quality of life, quantity of life for quality of life. I'm gonna have a real good quality life until I die. This is what I want to do. I enjoy looking like this. I feel good. And I'm like,
and
man,
it's like, well, you can't really argue with that.
Who are these motherfuckers to tell him he can't take that?
Yeah,
and that he can't look like that or do that. You know, so as
long as he knows what he's getting into.
All he's doing is fucking with his hormones, basically.
Yeah.
And women have been fucking with their hormones so they don't get pregnant for fucking years now. Why can't a man fuck with his hormones?
Yeah.
To get bigger. Or to feel better, you know, fucking after 50. So I don't really understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, a lot of stuff that's illegal doesn't make any sense.
And it's an American thing. Here in the United States, for some reason, I guess it was the media or whatever, steroids got real vilified. There's kind of like a social faux pas that these guys are taking them. But in Europe, it's like normal. In Germany, it's just like, oh yeah, take steroids. They just do it. You know, they don't have a problem with it, and I think they're legal in England.
They might be.
It's just that
I'd have to check, but
they're just like, look, you want to take them, take them.
I do feel like, well, even in drugs in particular, I feel like Europeans are a lot more kind of like. Americans are. It's really weird. There's this really like strange like puritanical kind of streak in the culture. Still, it's not as bad as it used to be. Like I think like it was bad in the 80s and shit like that. But there's still this kind of thing where it's like, oh, it's drugs, it's bad. Oh, it's this, it's bad.
Yeah, but drugs are fucking, it's a mixed bag. It's like anything else. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to give drugs to a kid, especially if those drugs might affect him later on.
Right.
Or it's a cancer-causing agent that might kill you in 40 years. You might die at 50, you know what I mean? But who cares if you give that same drug to a guy who's 50? He's only
you tell him what it is.
Yeah. If he's 50, he might only have 30 years of life left anyway, 40 years left, you know what I mean? So that means he's going to live a normal lifespan.
Yeah.
So you should, you know, because some of this stuff, if you look at it, if it's used properly, based on dudes that I've seen actually do it, it looks like it's life extension.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of good examples yet. But you look at Sylvester Stallone, he was on and off shit his whole life. He looked good for a fucking almost 75-year-old man, you know?
True.
He probably would have looked a lot better had he not taken anything until he was 50.
Yeah.
You know? Because it does do damage to your fucking liver. And who knows what it does to your DNA. I don't know. Because it puts your system into overdrive to grow. Plus he was taking a bunch of HGH. But now we're going down and these people probably don't want to hear this shit.
Well, like I said, we're gonna do
a whole show on it. We're gonna do a whole show.
Well, about that kind of thing and like
the guys that pioneered this shit and why certain things went down the way it did. That's what we're gonna talk about.
Yeah. All right.
What's possible and what's not possible.
Yeah. You done?
I'm done.
All right.
I'm done. Turn that shit off.
Yeah, we went.
I got shit I got to do.
This was almost 45 minutes.
Was it? It's like a whole fucking bonus show. Look, you guys like the show, please like, share, and subscribe. Become a patron. How many patrons we have now? Do you know?
50
something? We could always use, we're at the point now where we could always use new patrons, even if it's only a couple dollars a month.
We still got to do the video for the YouTube membership.
And
too.
we got to get shirts out soon, but things are just starting to kind of get back to normal around here. We got to go up to fucking Michael's And we got to go to the printers to get new design.
Yeah, we do.
But
we need to get on that. But like I said, and we need to start working on the cookbook, and we need to do like...
Yeah, we got a lot of work to do.
I know, I got like a million things I got to get done. We'll get to everything. I'm just trying to take things a little bit at a time so I don't get stressed out. All right, so you guys have a great rest of your Thursday. We'll be talking to you again tomorrow.